Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap on the Boom and Bust channel, a Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry, and today, looking at Mitch Trubisky's Incompletions versus the New York Giants. Week 2 victory that we squeaked out. We're going to go to the film and kind of look at that as always. But before that, just want to remind you, go to speakpipe.com. The address is right there. You can leave a voice message, get your comment or question on the show, and then go to patreon.com. If you like the content, consider supporting so we can continue the content, because some of this stuff costs money. So definitely check that out if you feel inclined to. With that being said, we're going to go to the film like usual, kind of go through the normal things and see what we can see and break down how it looked. We all know how the game turned out, kind of a last second win again. But Trubisky only had 8 completions this week. So that's an interesting sign. I didn't pull up like all the advanced stats and kind of break that down, but it is interesting to think about 8 completions and when you think about the overall performance of our offense. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get this started. So the first incompletion comes in the first quarter. So this is 3rd down and 6. And a big 3rd down as we are heading towards we're in the red zone at this point. So a scoring opportunity. And this was very close to being a completed pass, which it ended up being a really nice throw by Trubisky. You have kind of a wheel route going on here, a little bit of a pick play, well, a lot of a pick play, trying to get Anthony Miller open, which it kind of does, but the defender has the inside leverage, so now that throw has to be to the outside towards the sideline, and that's exactly where it is. I mean, it was good placement. You know, you as a defender, you try to make the quarterback make the toughest throw possible. And as you can see, like, that's a very tough throw and catch. It is, you know, inches from being an easy completion. But all that inches and seconds matter in football. So just due to the timing of it all and where he was on the field, it ended up being incomplete. While Trubisky's definitely shown some issues with accuracy, especially in the deep ball, there's a couple passes this year that I was really impressed by as far as his ability to put it where it needed to be. And the pocket's clean there. I mean, Leno's getting some work, but the pocket's pretty clean for him to deliver a throw. And yeah, I mean, I won't really say that's on Trubisky. That's a tough catch for Miller and a good job by the defender. All right, so 1st and 10. This, I didn't see what quarter it was, but it looks like the first quarter. All right, so under center, quick 3-step and throw. Threw an out route. Out routes are tough. As we talked about, we all saw Brady struggle with that out route. So just a quick drop back. 1st down, trying to get some yards, a little round out. And just I'm not sure why Allen Robinson slowed up. Trubisky's throwing that to the sideline, which is what you want to do on the out route. As we saw with Brady, you throw it 2 inside, that could be a pick 6. So that is very breaking to the outside. And to me, at least, it looked like Allen Robinson slowed up a little bit on that route, where he could have continued to break it fast to the outside. He rounds it out, turns his head, and just kind of, you know, takes a couple choppy steps and starts jogging instead of really breaking on it. And maybe he anticipated it more inside so that he can catch it and turn up and run. But it was good inside leverage by the defense, so Trubisky putting that towards the sideline. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. So just looking at the pass pro, I mean, they're odd front. It's a real good job there. They're eye front, but they don't have any premier edge rushers. So a lot of times, if the interior is going head to head, it's not going to be that difficult. So it's a 3rd and 6. I think it said third quarter actually. With 3rd down, another outbreaking route. Really good coverage. Real tough throw to make. So coming out the bunch, we had Jimmy kind of break outside. We got a curl here, curl there. Actually, this is very much one of the route concepts we ran last year. A little bit of difference with the 2 outbreaking routes, but underneath you got the same thing with the flat, and then you got the 2 underneath curls or hitches, whatever you want to call them. They're pretty short. So he's just going to flat here, curl here, curl here. Then he's going to break inside. He's going to break outside, which kind of gives you this middle of the field levels. But that outbreaking route, A, is tough to throw. But then B, again, that coverage was pretty tight. So it would have had to be a really fine throw to get there. So they blitz one guy at the middle. It's only a 3-man rush. Essentially, Martinez doesn't ever really blitz. Now, Trubisky does have some pressure in his face. Well, I wouldn't say pressure, but he has some bodies around him. And with a 3-man blitz or 3-man rush, this should not have been an issue. Like at this point, Trubisky's got to know where to slide. Now I know he doesn't want to move here to get sacked. But, well, I kind of take that back. I won't blame Trubisky for that. I mean, you got enough time to make that throw. It's a long developing route if you're trying to go outside. You definitely got enough time to make that throw. But either, back up or don't kind of throw into the defensive lineman there. Making that throw through, not real contact, but enough where you could get your follow through. And so it's a little hard to see from this side. I kind of wish the camera was flipped and we were going the other way, but it's kind of hard to see from this side if that affected his follow through. It looks like he's able to cleanly get it off. Obviously, his feet aren't planted like you want it to be, which can cause the ball to kind of sail on you a little bit. And as you can see from this angle, you had to have it to the outside and you had to have it over the defender because the defender was underneath and pretty much on the hip of Miller, so it only could be there. But and it was definitely enough space to be completed. And maybe you take a shot with Robinson over the middle. I think that was the second in-breaking route. Maybe that's a better shot. I mean, it's always going to be a better shot when your receiver has the underneath leverage and the defender's over the top, unless it's a vertical, obviously. But it's kind of like a back shoulder fade or anything. Receivers can box him out at that point. So throwing to the outside towards the sideline, though, that's going to be a little tougher. So this is just a bad decision. We got the this thing didn't slow down when I wanted it to. So it looks like 21 personnel. We got the fullback in. So we're going to do a play action from under center. All fine. Why is this not slowing? There we go. So we got options on this route. Obviously, Robinson's one of his favorite targets, but Blake Martinez real good underneath coverage, getting underneath that route, understanding where he is in space, and then the safety over the top. Well, Blake was a little bit behind. I guess Robinson could have caught that. So we had the play action. Robinson goes inside. Then we're going to wheel around with Komet. They do a good job of covering that. I mean, you got underneath, you got a wide open Montgomery. And the safety makes a good break on the ball. But I kind of contribute that to Allen Robinson a little bit. So if we look here, when this ball's thrown, Martinez isn't there yet. Well, okay. I say a good break by the safety. Good break by the safety, because by the time the ball gets there, the safety's already knocking at it. Now, let's see, because I forgot what. This 1st and 10. So, yeah. So, my issue with that is 1st and 10, you got Montgomery wide open underneath. And he can obviously do a lot of things with the ball after the catch. And so you could have took that there. I mean, I understand being a little aggressive. I wouldn't say this is a shot, but trying to get some chunk yards. And it is one-on-one, but the defender just made a great break on that ball. But I would have liked to see that check down to Montgomery. So we'll look from this side, the end zone. So we got play action here, play action end around. Now, again, Robinson's got a lot of space, so I understand that. Just a good break on the ball. I think Trubisky usually throws with a lot more velocity, especially in that short of a distance. I mean, he's got a clean pocket. He's able to throw. Got to chalk that up to the defender. Yeah, especially looking at it from this side, I don't mind it. Now, here's the thing, because I said this while watching the game, and it's hard to see from here, but Trubisky was throwing a lot of wobblers. Like, even the touchdown he threw, and that looks like a spiral, but I don't know if it was the wind or something, but he was throwing a lot of kind of wobblers and knuckleballs that game. And so from here, it looks kind of like a tight spiral, but you could tell that velocity wasn't there, because from the point he threw it, that should have got to A-Rob. Anyway, we got an empty set here. This play doesn't look good. Everybody's kind of jammed up, real tight man coverage at the line. Nobody got a good release. Just another similar look from one of the plays we ran earlier. So we're going to have the flat route. And we're going to have the curl, the in-breaking route, and the out-breaking route, and then kind of that curl or spot route, whatever you want to call it. Except Robinson is underneath this time, tried to go to him. And I believe this was 2nd down. So, looking at it from the end zone view, oh my God, this button is not cooperating with me today. All right, so looks like they sent 5. Why is it not working? 5 for 5. There we go. I mean, they pick up the switch pretty well. Again, Martinez doesn't really blitz. He's just kind of spying. So Trubisky definitely had the time there to throw it. Not sure what the flag was. This is counted as an incompletion, so I'm guessing it's not on the defense. And yeah, they're just tight inside. I mean, that's a tough throw to make. I wonder, I don't think this would have been on the incompletions if they called a flag, but it might have been. And this one again, 3rd down, one of those killers. And we see these things with these outbreaking routes, and especially in today's NFL, a lot of teams like to throw across the middle, like this little drag here coming to Allen Robinson where you feel like he could turn it up. A lot of teams like that because it's easier for quarterbacks. Like the out-breaking routes are always harder throws, whether it's a velocity or whether it's a timing issue. And so we get the out route, and I remember they did like a lot of replays. It was close. It could have been catchable, but you do got to wonder, all right, well, would have been better if we would have took this underneath route with Allen Robinson, where you got this blitz. So now here's the thing, when you're playing football, you got to know where your routes are. You got to know what area of the field you're attacking. So right now I'm Trubisky. I know the routes. I know Robinson is coming on a little shallow cross, a little drag. So you got to kind of play the scenarios in your head. And they're doing that amoeba. If they vacate that middle, which they end up doing, you see them blitzing and going, man, you got to know that middle is going to be open for your shallow cross. Now, I mean, yes, you could throw the out, but that's a much tougher throw, as we can see. So I think, again, that's a higher level thinking that Trubisky has to get to, because you got to anticipate what will happen and react accordingly. This is just him kind of looking at Miller all the way. This is whether it's a matchup they thought they were going to win or what have you. And you see, that's a long throw. And Trubisky has an arm, so if you ever forgot that, from the middle of the field to the sideline, that's a long throw. But again, you got to kind of take what the defense is giving you. They're vacating the middle of the field, hit them across the middle of the field. So, I mean, there's definitely some times the receivers didn't do Trubisky any favors this game. But also, I think there's some things he could do to help himself. So this is a 1st and 10. We're in the 4th quarter. Play action from under center. We'll roll out now. That's tough because you're already throwing across your body. They rolled him out to the right, and then he's throwing back to the left. I don't know if that was by design, but and Trubisky has an arm, but I don't know that I would want to do that. I mean, it's one of those play actions you try to slip the tight end pass. Then the post kind of takes the deep coverage away, so you have that one-on-one matchup. I get it. To me, why roll them out to the right? I mean, maybe you're trying to get the defense to suck up to a Trubisky and then throw it, across the way. But I don't know. That's a little gimmicky to me. Only if you was really doing well in the run game would that probably work. Because, yeah, like if you stayed in the middle, like right where you're supposed to be, that's not a bad throw. Now you're rolling him out, so he's throwing crossbody, plus he's got stuff in his face. And again, to Trubisky's credit, it wasn't bad. I mean, obviously you needed a little more accuracy, but it wasn't like completely terrible. So you get him moving out of the pocket, but they're in man coverage, so that rolling out didn't really mean anything for the defender covering Harris. And so, yeah, sometimes I think we try to be cute with the play call and we don't actually understand or attack the matchup. I think sometimes we just out there doing what we think is comfortable for Trubisky, or what we think, I wouldn't say that we're supposed to do, but what we think, these are the plays that all the offenses run, so it must work, but you got to know situationally when to do it. So starting out empty, motion to the backfield, trips to the left. I am not sure what this play is. There's two people on shallow crosses, and it looks like Wims was breaking inside too. Can't say that I know what that is. But gets batted down at the line. So we'll see the pass protection. I mean, the protection's there. Lyman just got his hand up. Good time on there. That should be it. Yep. So that is it for the incompletions for that week. Not too bad. I mean, even on some of those plays, like, again, I think you saw Trubisky had much more accuracy than usually. And so that's interesting and encouraging to see. But those third downs are killers. I was kind of tweeting the first drive, like, third down was the name of that drive. Like, we had to convert over and over again. But then the rest of the game, especially after the first quarter, I think the third down is really what was shooting us in the foot, where we were really close to converting some of those, but I think Trubisky could have made different decisions that would have made it a little easier on him. It's not like the stuff we were doing didn't work or that he can't make those throws. It's just that it would have been a little higher percentage if we went to other places, in my opinion. So anyway, go to the comment section. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up, subscribe, share it around, get the conversation started. And remember, stay up and bear down.